Okay, well, welcome back. I was able to get a few things worked out. So let me just explain. I guess I'll dive back into code for a tiny bit, but I really don't want to spend much time there. There's a couple things I'm realizing. If you recall, I said a few times, I couldn't figure out how to get results by UPC. And that's important because the suppliers don't typically have the Walmart IDs. They just give you the UPC code. And I'm so stupid. If you look in the get product information, somewhere in here, format. So if you leave it out, it just uses the product ID as the ID. So it says format can be product ID. But if you want to have this say format equals UPC, just put that in the URL, and that's all it takes. So all I did was right here. So here's where I call the get API, and I'm setting the endpoint. So all I did is I put format equals UPC, and then this term that's passed in is the UPC and not the product code, product ID. So I'm a little embarrassed that it took me as long as it did to figure that one out, but that was pretty easy. Some of the other things I did, I don't want to get too into it. I hinted the last time that I made this manifest file, and I love this, but it's getting a little unruly. And again, this will be gone by the time you watch this. But it does allow me to, like here's why I'm having some doubts about this. And it isn't so much about using the manifest, it's working in Google App Sheets. It's like going from the manifest where I actually have all the data at my fingertips. I even have all the values. So if I were to process this for 50 products, this values array would have the 50 UPC entries in it, and this one, which represents the column for product ID, would have the 50 values in it. And what's nice about that is I have all the data just right there. And what I'm finding is, I'm trying to make this thing look right. So it's like I do something and it writes the data to the products tab, and then it calls some more web services and it writes data to the bestseller. There's one or two other endpoints I'm going to hit to get another tab of the buy box info. There's more detailed buy box. So I might want to get that. And it's this constant going back and forth between what you want to do in that manifest, that JSON object, versus what you want to do in Google App Sheets. And if I were to do it, like now that I'm getting to understand this a little better, I'd probably do this in a programming language that I'm more familiar with in terms of testing and stuff like that, because I understand that App Sheets does have unit tests and things like that, but I just didn't have it in me to dive in that deep. So the bad news is, like, while I think I did some good things in here and made some good decisions, it started getting a little hacky towards the end because I just wanted to get it to work. But here's what's kind of cool. I think this is going to work. So remember, what we're going to do is run the code. It's going to go through each UPC, fetch the product info and write it on that sheet, fetch the bestseller info for that product and put it here. And then on the Analyze tab, so I have all these things where, okay, so I want and basically what it's doing is it's taking the column name. I didn't find anything on the Products tab worth analyzing. It's just, there really just isn't much here. I don't know what I'd use that isn't already on the bestseller. I tend to feel like maybe a good assumption is we use the bestseller data because that's a seller that's having success. We'd have to beat that person in order to break into that product market. But if I look at these column headings, I'm not going to look at them all. They're all there though. So all I did is I say in the Analyze tab, when the bestseller Walmart buy box percent for the last 30 days is less than 0.5. So that means less than 50% of, Walmart. You're not competing with Walmart. That's what I understand that to be. I want the product rating to be over a 4. I want the bestseller estimated 30-day sales revenue to be over 500. That's a little low, but I don't have much data. And then I can start tweaking some other things. We can basically put any column we see in here on, where am I? Bestseller. So if you see the bestseller rank in the last 30 days, now, like, here's what I'm confused about. I don't know if this is the rank of the bestseller or if it's the rank of the product. That's what I'm confused about. So, and I don't know, maybe I'll dive in a little deeper for the next time, but like there's some funniness here. So don't, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. And so I'm just going to run this. It's going to take a while, even just for, I have 52, 51 UPCs. I think I got a duplicate in there somewhere. I don't know why I did. I can't remember why I did that. But I'm just going to run it and we'll see what happens. So I have my Dataspark menu item and I fixed the name. I think I've been calling it Data Shark. So now it's Dataspark. And I'm just going to do load data, and this actually does everything. So let's I'm not going to knock on wood on this one. And let's see what it does. And I got these nice little toast things that say, okay, we're grabbing the first 52 products. And it'll give us some messages here. One of the other things I noticed is, even with just 50 products, not all products have a lot, like the complete information. So you get a lot of nulls back. And that, like, I started taking the easy way out on that. And I'll just show you some of that stuff while we're in here. I took some shortcuts. So I do things like, this just pulls in each row and it tries to determine, hey, remember how I said some of the items in the tree like are nested. So if there's a parent, child, we can support that. And so it just navigates that and grabs the value of it. And then I put some try catches in here. Basically, it's like I try to evaluate it. If it just bombs, if it's null, if it's a number, and if we're expecting a number and it's a string value, sometimes the results will say you need to upgrade your plan instead of giving you the number you're looking for. So I just set it to as a -1. So that's all I do. So we're going to see when this thing returns some data, it is going to bunch of -1s. While that's running, because it's going to be another minute, let me just see if there's anything. Oh, so the other thing I did is where this got hacky, which I really didn't like. Remember how I mentioned that I have calculated columns? So down towards the bottom, actually down at the bottom of here, just because I have the data right there, I just run some calculations. And so in this case, price momentum, all I do there is I say like, hey, in the last 30 days, compare the average price in the last 30 days to the price today. Is the price today higher than the last 30 days? Like, meaning, did the price go up in the last 30 days? And do the same thing for 90. And then I'd like to know the average sales per seller. And I have a few other calculations. And if I come back to here, again, I don't like how I did this. I just hard coded it all. And but it is what it is. I wanted to get it done. But you can see here, here's the momentum percent. And that's just the name I came up with. So it's passing it the current price and then the average 30-day price. And this one's doing the 90-day price against the current price. I also started doing some things like, we have all the categories at our hands, and some of the products are listed in multiple categories. And some of them are ranked better in different categories. So I'm going to work on this one a little more, because what I'd like to do, and I ran out of gas. It might be nice to get the best category that it's selling in. That might be one filter we might want to add, or one part we might want to analyze on. And then the other thing I'd like to do is put an option in here to say, because I believe different sellers are restricted to certain categories, like they're not allowed to sell in a broad category. So if there's category restrictions, I could put something in here that says, categories not equal to, and have a list of 3 or 4 categories. And I don't know if I need to do that or not, but I'll show you what I did, because at least I write the data out into the file. And so I'm actually going to pause this while this is going so you guys don't have to listen to me. Well, that was disappointing. I just got an error saying it exceeded the maximum runtime. And I guess it was been running for about 7 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just cut this down to like 20 products, and I'm going to rerun it. Don't worry, I won't make you watch everything. I don't even know if this is going to give us anything meaningful, but I'm going to give it a shot. And I'll pause this again, pause the recording. All right, well, you missed a little toast down here that said everything finished, and go check the results tab. So again, let's remember what we did here. We loaded all the products on this tab with all the data. Remember I mentioned there's a bunch of -1s when like if there's null data and things like that. Oh, here's the other interesting thing. So I did list, like when I get this product, it does bring back the categories. And what I did is I just put that delimiter, the two, I don't know what those are called, but these categories are home, bedding, mattresses and accessories, seasonal, and furniture. But then I also put the category rank, so we can see here the second one, bedding, is the 15th. You know, that's probably the best category. But if you're restricted from bedding, you couldn't do this. So this is why I like the idea. If I could put a category restricted or restricted categories filter in the analyze, it would help us like not even look at one of these if it meets certain criteria. Same thing for the bestseller. There's not much in here, but you're going to see -1s. So this is a particular product that doesn't have much. And what's interesting is I think these are new products. So it's kind of cool. Like I'm sort of seeing like, yeah, that might be something worth looking at. So one of my analysis things might be to put that in there. So I don't know. Yeah. So we got 2 out of the 20 that meet our, so the rated our analyze specifications. So we have a decent rating. I forget some of the things we put in there. We didn't put much. We basically said buy box less than 0.5, rating greater than 4, and it's doing more than 500 a month. So, you know, the bad news is I found out my next project, because I thought I'd be able to run 1,000 of these in my next video. But what I think I'm going to have to do, and here's where I'm debating whether I should just continue with AppScript or find something else. I think I have to find a way to batch these things. So I have to do them 20 at a time. So let's pretend I get 1,000 or 2,000 of these. In AppScript, I can set triggers to run every hour or every half hour, and it could just do 20 of them, maybe every 15 minutes. So this way, you just start it at night, and in the morning, it'll all be done. So I'm not too happy about that. And again, I don't know if I'm going to continue with AppScript or not. So anyway, my next steps are to figure out how to deal with, you know, doing 1,000 of these, and then adding some more analysis things, make this a little more flexible. So again, thanks for playing along. I'm really, one of the things that would help me, if you want to leave comments or contact me directly, I don't know how to sell stuff on Walmart. I don't know. I don't understand that buy box thing. I don't understand how you do it. I don't understand how you look at this data. You know, my next step, and if I'm doing this myself, is I click this link. And here's where I just use my human brain to look at the product details and determine if this is a good product. Okay, there's only one seller. That feels good. They're doing 1,400 a month. That sounds good. Walmart, you're not competing with them. The sales rank is pretty low. So, you know, there might be some room to grow. So again, I don't know if this is a good one or not. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. But like I said, if anyone has that, can bring that to the table, I think we could pair up and come up with something pretty cool. So again, thanks for watching, and hope to see you at the next one.